The island of Cebu is located only 1 hour flight south of Manila and is fondly known as the Queen City of the South. It's a bustling city with a population of over 3 million. One of the city's major fiesta is the Sinulog, a Roman Catholic ritual celebrating the city's patron saint, Santo Niño. Processions, parades, and many ritualistic activities occur during this time. Cebu is famous for its beach resorts, diving, and many other tourist attractions. It is a very popular travelers' destination. Behind the beauty and glamour of Cebu lies a stark reality of poverty and human desperation. Thousands of families are barely scratching out a living, scavenging through the piles of rubbish, never knowing if they will have enough to eat. Estimated 35% unemployment rate, survival is tough. There is no welfare system here. For the children of these families, education is a privilege. Few are given. They are needed to work helping to bring food to their families. It is truly hard to convey the harshness of everyday life for those living on the rubbish dumps and slums. They are living in terrible, inhumane conditions. No sewage system, no running water, no electricity, and their shelter is often made up of scraps of rubbish. Disease-infested rats and other vermin freely roam around the alleyways of these slums. Children are truly at risk. 35% of children under the age of 5 years are suffering from some degree of malnutrition. Overcrowded living conditions, poor nutrition, neglect and abuse are affecting these precious lives. Reality: children are dying. This young girl suffering from TB died at age 3 years. Children are living on the streets, no shelter, no bed, and often no food and no hope. We have had to bury many children that could have lived if only they had been treated earlier. Drug addiction, alcoholism, domestic violence, incest, all of these are issues, common problems families are facing. There is a class system within the Filipino culture, and these people are considered less than second-class citizens. If anyone has material possessions and sees his brother in need, but has no pity on him, how can the love of God be in him? Dear children, let us not love with words or tongue, but with actions and in truth. We found this young boy at the rubbish dump. He had severely burnt his foot in an accident and was at risk of losing his foot to gangrene infection. He was just left suffering in pain. After providing daily dressing changes, medication, food and care, he is doing well and today is now able to walk around. We were called to this young 16-year-old who had just given birth. She wanted to give up her baby, but when we arrived, she was literally bleeding to death. No family, no money, no one that cared. We scooped her up and rushed her to the nearest hospital. She was minutes away from death. We became her family, responsible for her medical care while providing for her baby, Ryan, while she recovered. Jackie required emergency surgery and baby Ryan had also developed an infection during delivery. Today, Jackie and her family have a new lease on life. Young Francis, 4 years old and suffering from the deadly disease TB. His parents simply could not afford the necessary plastic colostomy bags, and so his excretion was literally burning his skin. After care and daily treatment, here is Francis today. Children are dying from hunger. Joebert here is 4 years old and weighed only 8 kilograms. Even after several weeks at our rescue mission house, he is barely able to stand. Today, Joebert has made a remarkable recovery, even surprising our local pediatrician. Although he is not yet talking, he is much healthier, and every day he is gaining strength. Marites was burnt when she was only 2 years old. Ashamed and an outcast in her village, she suffered from this disfigurement. We found her in a small church and she pleaded for help. Through the support of sponsors in Australia and the donated work of local plastic surgeon Dr. May Harris, Marites is fully on the road to recovery. Her self-confidence has increased and she is now asking when she can go back to school. As we put faith into action, networking with many organisations, churches, denominations and individuals, so that we can God has called us to care for. He has opened the door for us to forge partnerships that illustrate the awesome love of God. We are able to conduct regular dental missions throughout our slum areas, sponsored by local businesses, and the Channel of Hope Foundation, including the assistance of teams of voluntary Denmark dentists. Philippines ranks 5th highest in the world in estimated TB cases. Children suffering from poor nutrition and living in unsanitary, overcrowded slums are at risk. 68 Filipinos die every day from TB. And we have just commenced a TB screening treatment program in Pier 4, and out of the initial 50 children that we have tested, 48 are positive. We have developed a comprehensive program that focuses on placing children back into school. We have built and run several classrooms directly in the slums. We aim to create inspiring learning environments for the children despite the fact they are living in the midst of despair. We have student teachers from Denmark that travel to the Philippines to complete their practical module of study here in our education program. This is of culture and knowledge. Children love to learn. And as parents see their children achieve, they too are inspired to continue to send children to school. For those children that are too old, we provide all their school needs, books, bags, uniforms, shoes, entrance fee, and wherever possible, their fare. We dare the children to dream.
When I grow up, I want to be a nurse. I'm interested I grow up to be a policeman. Cause Jesus, you came and gave me new life. Now I'll never let you go. Lord, you are my hiding place. You are my hiding place. Shelter me.
As part of our program for the children and the families living in the slums, we have parties. Every child loves to laugh and dance, sing and have fun, and these events are a very welcome relief to the harshness of life in the dump. Local businesses and even the casino have sponsored these events, with our largest party at the end of the year being Christmas. It is really hard to imagine that all of these 1,000 children live and survive in the slums of Cebu. As well as our education program, medical care, dental care, emergency care, rescue missions and feeding, we have developed a comprehensive livelihood training component aimed at providing job opportunities for young men and women that would otherwise be scavenging on the dumps. As funds and land availability permit, we build small nipper houses for our families. As we reach out and network with many organisations, opportunity presented itself for the Australian Ambassador to the Philippines, Ruth Pearce, to visit one of our centres at Inaya 1 Rubbish Dump. Since then, we have received a number of grants in line with the Australian Government's policy on community development. The number of homeless and hungry in Cebu is increasing. Each Friday night, our team set out to feed more than 1,000 of them. For these children, this is their only food for the night. For many communities, access to water is limited and costly. We have installed and maintained more than 20 water pumps throughout the areas that we are working in. This greatly improves the hygiene and general well-being of the community. As we share the power of the love of God and firmly put our faith into action, we are seeing such powerful changes as lives are being transformed. What profiteth a man if he gains the whole world, yet loses his very soul? As the power of love and life begins to flow into people, changes occur, growth is inevitable. We are seeing addicts released,